let's look at the running backs at the top of our rankings. I'm going to be looking at half PPR specifically. We have Alvin Kamara number 1, Dalvin Cook number 2, Derrick Henry number 3. I don't think a big surprise there, although you potentially could make a case for Austin Eckler or maybe Aaron Jones, someone sliding into the top 3. But I think those top 3 feel pretty consensusy. Sean, who is a running back or a couple of backs that you are high on for this week?
I'm super high on Jeff Wilson right now. It sounds like Raheem Mostert's going to be out. And Jeff Wilson himself is banged up, so we need to monitor that. But he could end up being the closest thing to a workhorse back we've seen in this 49ers offense. Obviously, he's going to dominate the early down work, certainly the goal line carries as they arise. But he also, was the lead receiving back. He saw 43% routes run. So, anytime you can get the workhorse back on the 49ers, you take it. So I'll be all over Jeffrey Wilson. He's 5K on DK. He's an easy play there. And, I think he's a solid RB2 at least in season-long leagues. So he'll be in any, championship lineups where I have him. A great matchup against the Cardinals as well. And then David Johnson as well. Great matchup this week at home against the Bengals. They should be able to run a lot more than they're used to. Duke Johnson's still banged up. It's unclear if he'll be able to suit up this week. But, we saw David Johnson finally thrive as a pass catching back for the Texans. He ran around on 76% of the dropbacks. And sure enough, he saw 11 targets, caught 11 balls for 106 yards. So I need to update a few things, but he's going to be a low-end RB1 this week if Duke Johnson is out. So be sure to start him anywhere you have him this week.
Sean, totally with you there on Jeff Wilson. I'm assuming that Raheem Mostert is out, and so I have him ranked as a high-end RB2. So I think very much in line with where you are. He's been very productive when given the opportunities, and I think, as you said, highly likely to be the lead back, both in running and receiving if Mostert is out. And also, I'm pretty high on Tony Pollard, again, assuming Zeke is out, was super productive last week. And honestly, I don't want to cast aspersions at Ezekiel Elliott, but I feel like Tony Pollard looks like the better player right now. And maybe some of that is because Zeke is injured, whatever it is. But, Pollard is younger, more explosive, probably a better receiving back. If Zeke is out, I feel like Pollard is a top 5 running back this week. Raybon, who are you high on?
Well, this guy may not get talked about just yet because Monday night game, we're recording about 12 hours after it. But Giovanni Bernard, 25 of the 31 carries for the Cincinnati Bengals, 26 of the 32 backfield touches for the Cincinnati Bengals against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now they're going against a Houston Texans defense that's allowed 5.4 yards per carry to opposing running backs. No other team in the NFL has allowed more than 5. The Houston Texans are allowing a half yard more per carry to backs than any other team in the league. And Bernard reclaimed, that number 1 role, 25 carries. That's a season high for him. So think you can trust Bernard. And there's some real upside there, even if he doesn't get that full workload, just because of the efficiency that the Texans are allowing. And then in DFS, I think David Montgomery is correctly priced. He's, 7,700, which may seem high, but there's just no more decisions if you're in like a season-long league or something like that. Like I have Montgomery ranked number 3 this week. So David Montgomery, make sure you start him.
All right, and Raybon, who are you low on?
So for this week, I'm going to be, and I seem to be low, just a tad low on him every week. Unfortunately, that I should have not taken his, Sean, I know you're with me. We got burned on the Nick Chubb prop on Sunday Night Football, but Nick Chubb going against the Jets, and it kind of goes into what I said about Baker Mayfield, but the Browns have shown the willingness, I think, to kind of play the matchups a little more here. And the Jets, we know, are one of the better run defenses in the league, but the worst pass defense in the league. And so I think Chubb, he's going to get his carries. He'll be involved. He could even get a touchdown, but he's a bit overpriced at 7,800. I think he's more, in that low end running back 1 mix rather than the, RB, high end elite RB1 that I see him treated at. pretty much week in, week out.
Yeah, Rayvon, this is the second time you've taken the guy in terms of fading that I'm also looking to fade. I'm right there with you on Chubb. I think I'm a little bit lower than you are, and everything that you just mentioned there. You know, the Jets have a pretty good run defense. Chubb doesn't get a lot of the pass catching work, and even if the Browns are blowing out the Jets, that could mean that Kareem Hunt comes in and maybe gets a little bit of the extra carries in the second half instead of Chubb getting those carries. So I think there are lots of avenues through which Chubb could disappoint this week. So I'm not as high on Chubb as I probably would be otherwise. Sean, who are you low on?
So these two running backs, you know, I just want to be careful. Don't go into your championship just planning on playing these guys. There might be some things that happen later in the week that might change your mind. But Sullivan Ahmad is the first guy. You know, he's coming off a huge game where he saw 23 carries for 122 yards and a touchdown. He has a great matchup this week against the Raiders. But, you know, Myles Gaskin is very likely to return this week. So we don't really know how this is going to sort out. So we're going to have to keep tabs on that. But he's going to be on the, you know, RB3 flex fringe. That might be a tricky lineup decision we need to make later in the week. And a similar running back is Kenyon Drake. You know, he got banged up during week 15. We need to, you know, find out more if he's hurt, if it's going to affect his week 16 status. But it led to Chase Edmonds out touching him, and Chase Edmonds dominated the fourth quarter work. And this is just a problem of having, you know, a starting running back where the backup is maybe better than him. It's just a situation that could be pretty fluid heading into the week. And, you know, Kenyon Drake is certainly a guy that needs carries and goal line touches to preserve his value because he can't really make up for it anywhere else. So he's a guy that, you know, if you're planning on starting him as your RB2, just have backup plans. And, you know, he might be a guy that we end up not being able to trust come, you know, finals week. So start looking for backup plans just in case.
All right, Sean, give us the running back player prop.
Let's go. You know, unfortunately, it looks like Clyde Edwards-Helaire is out for the remainder of the season. So I want to make this prop about Le'Veon Bell, who could be, you know, potentially sit-start call for a lot of people. So let's go with his total rushing and receiving yards this week against the Falcons. I have it right now set at 70.5.
Okay, first of all, I'm going to reject the premise that Le'Veon Bell is a start sit call.
Yeah, I'm saying we're
going
to get questions about it. I'm not
okay. Yeah. Because I think it would be hard if you're actually in a championship matchup, if you have Le'Veon Bell actually to start him, because you could see him totally flopping. Okay. Anyway, to your point, 70.5 was the line you set. I'm going to, I have it at 73.5, but I feel that's more of a average versus a median. So I'm going to take a slight under on this.
I'll go over. I have it at 77. Have him about 14 and a half carries, just under 4 yards a carry. The Falcons do play good run defense, but then have him 2.7 receptions. So we'll go slightly over. The good news is, even if he doesn't quite get over his yardage prop, you know, there still is a Chiefs, like Friedman mentioned. You know, they have the highest implied total. So we saw that with Leonard Fortinet, where he kind of struggled a little bit against the Falcons, but was still able to salvage his day with a couple of touchdowns. So that's always on the table as well.